Welcome to San Joaquin Spotlight, a public affairs program featuring conversations about life in the central San Joaquin Valley. This program is brought to you in partnership between KFSR 90.7 FM and CMAC Fresno. I'm your host, Sevag Tateosian. Today in the studio, we have Craig Scharton, who has been on the program before, but he's got some new things going on, not only in downtown Fresno, but he's got some new things going on at Peeves. So Craig, welcome to the studio.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
And today you brought another special guest, Peeve himself. For our audience members watching the broadcast, there is this beautiful German Shepherd boxer mix sitting right next to us.
He is very excited. A little nervous, but very excited, as you can see.
And he's very well-mannered. I mean, you know, he came in here, he just sat down, and it's like, for him, it's nothing, just another day at the office.
Yep, we were recording a video at 7 a.m. this morning with some project that we're working on. So, you know, he's been in the spotlight all day. And
for people who haven't seen Peeve, and he's all over, you know, the Peeves restaurant, you know, the website and stuff. He's a good-looking dog. I mean, he's got a little bit of white and brown. I mean, he's a cutie.
Yeah, he's good. He's in great shape. We go walking all the time and hiking, and he chases squirrels and chipmunks and never catches them. But, yeah, he's a really good dog. He's been a blast.
So the other day I was walking on Fulton Mall, and Peeves, the restaurant, or the public house is there, on the Fulton Mall, and I saw someone bite into this humongous burrito, or not burrito, this humongous burger, and I thought, whoa, that looks good. So you've done some changes on the menu.
We have. You know, when we started out, we tried the daily menu thing, and for a first-time, you know, restaurateur, that was just too chaotic. So last December, we said we're going to rein this in and make some changes. You know, we're just starting. So we now do a monthly menu. So the first day of every month, we launch a new menu, so it still stays very seasonal. We can be creative, we can get feedback, but it allowed us to serve the food longer during the day. So now we serve food, the full menu, from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, 7 days a week. So you can rely on it. We also can offer more options than we could when we were trying to run and keep up the whole time. So we have a much bigger selection, still changes pretty regularly, more than most places do. And if you're hungry at 3 o'clock, that's great, you know, or if you're coming after a show, we'll be open.
The one thing I realized about your menu when I was looking on the website the other day is it's diverse, like the community. It's very diverse. How important is it for a restaurant in general to have such a diverse menu?
Well, you know, I mean, we're local. I mean, you hear farm to table or whatever, but we really focus on local. So, of course, that's local produce, but it's also local bread and local sausage and all that. So we try to mix it up, too, to reflect the community. So we sometimes have an Indian dish on a month ago. We've had Volga German sausage on, which there's a big community for.
I saw that one.
Yeah, we had a David of Sassoon burger that had locally made sujak on it and basturma, and we used an Armenian bun for that. So, and kind of Mediterranean spices. Have an El Ranchero burger, which has mole and Mexican cheeses that are made right here in our Central Valley. So, you know, it's part of who we are. So we want to make sure that, you know, being local is really kind of a way of life and a passion for us.
Last time you were on the program, we were talking, and I said I have this magic wand, and you can wave it and wish for one thing, and you said the street to be open, the Fulton Mall, yeah. The street to be open. Now, I'm giving you that opportunity again. Is it the same answer, or is there some other things that could help downtown Fresno and the Fulton Mall?
Well, that's still the biggie. You know, until that's done, a lot of what we're doing is treading water until that's done. I mean, we're very happy with how busy we are. We've had great community support. We've had Take 3 open up across from us, the burger place, which has been great. Yes. We have Casa de Tamales moving into the T.W. Patterson building. So there are some signs of life that are happening, but we're all really kind of gearing up for that big day when the street reopens and we throw that big party and everyone comes down to see what we've been talking about, and it's, you know, there'll be no looking back from that point. That's the biggie. We're getting close too. It'll start this fall.
This fall. So it's really going to happen, or is this just
Oh,
a
no,
dream
no, no,
or a
no.
wish or?
It's really happening. The bid packet will go out in June. Then they get the bids back. They have to award a contract. Then the contractor has a few weeks to kind of build it up. And so we will expect this fall to have construction start. And they're going to do everything they can to be ready by the end of December 2016.
So by, in essence, next December, not this coming, next December, there's going to be a total different look on the mall.
Yeah, so it's going to be very refreshing. There'll be a lot of new businesses, a lot of new renovation that is happening. We're working on the public market in the old Gottschalk's building. We want to be ready when that mall opens as well. Just everyone is kind of gearing up for that big moment. And we're going to throw a party that this valley will never forget.
Talk about, as we sit here in the CMAX studio, there's building happening all around us.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that building. And the second part of my question is, some people say, oh, there's no demand for living in downtown. Why are they spending all this money?
Oh, well, you're getting the highest rent per foot and the highest occupancy of anywhere in the Central Valley in downtown Fresno.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, up to $2 a foot. So if
$2
you lived
a
in
square foot?
if
Wow.
you lived in Woodward Park and wanted to rent a 2,000 square foot house, that would be like $4,000 a month, the equivalent, right? That doesn't exist. We get higher rent down here because there's so much pent up demand, not just in Fresno, but all over the country for this really great urban lifestyle. Now, it's not for everyone, but we forget, even if it's not for you, that there are people that like different things. And there are a lot of people that love the idea of living in a loft, you know, closing the door, traveling out of town, not having a lawn to mow, not having all this upkeep, walking down to the coffee shop where you know people, getting a beer at Peeves, you know, after work and seeing your friends. I mean, it's a great lifestyle. It's not for everyone, but neither is living in a gated community, right?
And for those that want this lifestyle, there's plenty of people because, you know, I'm noticing there's more and more activity down here every day when I come to work.
Every day. And the neat thing about people who live down here is they are 8 times more valuable to the downtown economy than an office worker. So they're going to spend much more disposable income. Like I said, their coffee, their after work dinner, get their bike fixed down here. They're going to do everything around where they live. That's part of the urban experience, is you like doing things with people you know that are near you and in your community.
What store or what store is needed down here? I mean, you've got the restaurants, you've got some, you know, coffee shops, you've got some cool things going in. You've got the Grizzlies, the Fresno Grizzlies.
Right.
Is there anything that you need that maybe an audience member says, you know what, I'm going to put that in downtown?
Well, you know, I mean, when Fulton Street reopens, it would not be unusual for us to have 60 to 100 restaurants, bistros, coffee shops, pubs, clubs, you name it. I mean, that's what happens in these downtowns is they turn into a dining and entertainment district. So we're doing some things through the Downtown Fresno Partnership to kind of get people to think about that very question. So if people go to downtownfresno.org/foundation, they're going to see 2 initiatives. One is aimed at existing restaurants. I'm disqualified, so I don't want you to think this is self-serving. But for a restaurant that's been down here for more than a year, they can compete to do a restaurant makeover. And we want people to start thinking about what would you do to refresh your storefront, your furniture, your menu, all of these things, your branding. So that'll be sort of a contest that's going on this summer. You can find that on that website. The other is called Create Here, where we have basically a couple of free spaces, shop spaces downtown, and someone can come up with a business idea and they can get free rent for a year, they can get tenant improvements,
Wow.
they can get marketing, they can get accounting, they can get legal. And so that's going to be great for that business. Like in Sacramento, even the top 3 finishers all ended up opening downtown and finding a good landlord and all of that.
But you're not talking food necessarily. You're
Could be.
talking, it could be any kind of business. Now, is the goal to just be a business that brings people downtown?
Yeah, you have certain, so creating this entertainment district, there's retail that's really fun and specialty. I mean, it's not going to be like a title company, right? That's closed at 5 and closed on the weekends. No, we want people that are going to be open till 8, 9, 10 o'clock, maybe 2 in the morning even, right? And on the weekends. You know, when you travel, you don't go down to a place that's busy Monday through Friday at lunch. You want a place on Friday and Saturday night that's happening, right? Maybe even other nights of the week. So that's kind of how we always gauge downtowns, and that's the way people will gauge our downtown. And that's really the niche that a downtown serves now. It's not the old-fashioned retail. It's going to be these fun, interesting, creative places. Could be a really cool ethnic shop or restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Could be, you know, just a wide variety. Could be someone that is an artisan that makes something, knitted stuff, woodwork, instruments. You know, they could do it. Something that's really going to get people's attention and get people excited.
The naysayers, which there are still naysayers saying nobody cares about downtown, nobody will go downtown, who
Yeah.
cares? What do you say to them?
I say, come to Peeves on Thursday night at 9 o'clock and you'll see who they are, right? Part of my reason for wanting to do this is I got that question all the time. How am I going to show them? I mean, I can't just keep waving my arms around saying, well, they'll be like this, and they'll be like, open this restaurant, hope that, you know, it works, do your best, and if that happens, then you can say, come down to Peeves on Saturday night at 9:30, see what's going on. And so you can see those people. I mean, we were so slammed last Sunday night. I showed up just to have dinner. I was wearing flip-flops. I had no idea, and we were so slammed, lines out the door on a Sunday night.
Wow.
I ended up bussing tables, taking out food for 3 hours in my stupid flip-flops. I'll never do that again. But I had no idea we were going to be that busy, and we were just packed.
Congratulations on that. And what I've noticed about you and your team at Peeves is, I mean, you're not stopping. I mean, it's just boom, boom.
There's no
boom.
stopping.
I mean, it's just like new concept, new idea. This menu, we're changing it. This food item, I mean, but it's not like you've ever put your foot off of the gas pedal. It's just like full throttle, man.
There's no other way to do it, you know? I think of all of life that way, and we just had our staff meeting this morning, and I mean, we're, I don't know, 20, 30% higher than my highest goal was when we opened. And that doesn't mean we will be in a month. I mean, you just cannot let up. I mean, we're on a basically dead pedestrian mall after 6 o'clock in the evening. The fact that we're full now, we can never take advantage of that. We have to give you the best food we can, the best service we can, the best events, the best live entertainment. There's no, that will never take the foot off. It's got to go.
I saw you the other day at a function. It was an unveiling of the ballroom, the new Fresno ballroom.
Yes.
Talk about how important something like that was. I mean, you know, that building has always been nice.
Yeah.
The building has always had its unique characteristics. But this new owner, it sounds like he knows what he's doing, because he's like Peeves. You all are just, every time it's something new. And this latest is he's redone the whole ballroom.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's really, it's very special. I mean, it has the wow factor. And Sevag, not to be confused with Sevag. Sevag, you know, he kind of stumbled into the whole revitalization thing by doing some stuff in Silver Lake. And then when he saw it happen and how it happened, just like with me, once you've done some revitalization work, it's very addictive because you get to see change happen and it's really positive. And you can't do it by yourself. So, you know, maybe in other parts of town they'd think, you know, well, we should be competing with you. Maybe someday we'll be competitors or whatever. When you come downtown, boy, everybody's going to post for you on Facebook. Everyone will help out if you have any questions. I mean, Brian from Take 3 came over and said, I've never seen a business community like this because of the word community. You're not going to go to a strip mall or some big, you know, chain center.
And on that note,
Find
one thing I noticed when I interviewed you a couple of times ago is you were excited about a new burger place being open across the way from you, and I couldn't figure that out. I thought, well, you serve hamburgers.
Yeah.
If this place comes, it's going to take your customers, and your perspective was different.
No, the day that I will be the happiest is when I hear that someone was going to go downtown and they all just met downtown and they just walked until they found something that was interesting. That's when you have a dining district. And, you know, right now we market so hard because we are, you know, pretty much by ourselves, but that's not the goal. We want those sidewalks to be so packed that, you know, they're checking us out, they're checking out the place across the way. You know, everyone is helping support the effort from all over the Central Valley.
I want to start getting into a hard question, and it's the question of the look. You know, when people come and you see homeless walking around, or when people come and you see an area that's not too well taken care of, that turns them off. To me, I've seen homeless in downtown LA. I've seen homeless everywhere. So for me, it doesn't bother me. You know, I mind my business and they mind their own business. But some people will say, oh, I went to the mall the other day and I was at jury duty and there was homeless people all around me. I mean, what is your take on that?
You know, well, so there are obstacles, right? There are obstacles everywhere. It could be expensive. It could be there's no place to park. It could be these other things. So everywhere you go, there's an obstacle. It's hard to get into downtown San Francisco. Yet you get there and there are tons of people, right? So is it expensive? Yes. Is it hard to park? Yes. You have to go over a bridge? Yes. Somehow they did it. So we forget there's something in us that likes a rich urban vital experience. So it's hard to get onto the mall, right? It's confusing. There are one-way streets. Parking is a mess. You might see homeless people. You might see some boarded up windows, right? All of those are obstacles, but what we forget is that where's the attraction, right? So if I said next Saturday night there's going to be a free Rolling Stones concert on the Fulton Mall, what happened, right? There'd be 40,000 people down there.
And somehow,
right.
They forgot about all the other issues, yeah?
Right. So you definitely want to make it easier to park and easier to find parking and easier to find your way around and we want homeless people to receive services, which we have been doing quite a bit. And but at the same time, if the coolest restaurant in town just got onto the Food Network and your wife saw the show, she's going to get you to come down and try that restaurant, right?
And I want to tell you a quick story on exactly what you're talking about. For my wife's birthday, we went to a restaurant that was in a very popular movie because she loves that movie, and my surprise to her was to take her to this restaurant. And guess what? The restaurant was in Danville, up 2.5 hours away. So I agree with what you're saying, that, you know, it will draw people to the restaurant. And, you know, this place, I asked this restaurant, you know, has business increased since the movie? And they said 3 times. To this day, people will go and ask for that table that the actor was on. So, you know, you're making a lot of sense.
Yeah, so we'll get there. So you lower the obstacle, increase the attraction, and at some point, things start to work, right?
The Grizzlies, change of team affiliation. A lot of people thought Giants out, Astros in. Now nobody's going to go. Talk about that.
They're up. I was just there for the last homestand. They're up in all categories: sponsorship, season ticket sales, regular ticket sales.
And they're
up.
winning. I saw their
And they're
record the
winning.
other day. They're winning.
Yeah, sometimes we could be too comfortable, and then we lose our edge. So you have the Giants, they keep winning World Series, blah, blah, blah. Now all of a sudden there's a change. The marketing's better. I mean, their management team, their marketing team, I mean, they're just phenomenal. They really are great people from the community, people coming here because they want to be here. It's just fantastic. So it's a fun thing.
Talk a little bit about the partnership between government and business.
Mm-hmm.
What I've observed, this administration, Mayor Swearingen, has been a very big advocate for downtown Fresno and businesses developing downtown Fresno. But she's not going to stay mayor forever. So
Yeah.
what happens when a new mayor comes in? Then, talk a little bit about how we get excitement in downtown. And I say we because I love this place too.
Well, the fun thing that happens is once we get over this next big hump of revitalization and it really begins to pick up more speed, is no one in their right mind would think of being anti-downtown anymore, right? No one would run for Clovis City Council being anti-downtown Clovis. No one would run for downtown Visalia City Council and be anti-downtown, right? So once you get over that big hurdle, then all of a sudden everyone's for it. So I'm not really too worried about that because once the mall goes in, once a specific plan is passed, we really are so far down the road that you can't really undo it. The other thing, though, is who I really admire that I think will be the next one to take up the mantle is really Oliver Baines. Downtown is in his district. He's been there. He's learned so much. I really think he's the one that will assume the main leadership position regardless of who's mayor. And I think you're really going to see that guy develop into a more of a citywide leader beyond just a district councilman. And he's the guy that just impresses me no end. So, and he's, as a former police officer who worked in the Lowell neighborhood where I live, I mean, he's been on the ground. And that goes from just being theoretical to, like, he knows the real deal. And he lives in the district in Southwest Fresno. I mean, anything we work with him on, he asks the right questions. He doesn't just go along. He wants to know what other cities are doing. And he's just been studying and watching with the mayor and working with her, and I think he's the next guy.
But does it really make that much of a difference? I mean, some people will say, oh, they're just politicians. You don't need them on your team.
Well, you do. There's too much that they can control. They control land use. They control infrastructure. They control streets and street patterns. They control parking. So it'd be neat, if you didn't have to rely on all that stuff. But what we know from other cities is you have to have that sustained leadership over 16 years, 20 years, whatever, to really get to be the great city that that we're capable of.
Is it safe? I mean, here we are. As we record this, obviously it airs at different times. So, some people listening to KFSR right now, it's Sunday morning, but here we are in the evening on a weekday. Is it safe? I mean, when I walk to my car, should I be worried that someone is going to come, push me, and take my wallet?
Not any more than you should be anywhere else, right? I mean, it's the real world. I wouldn't say be stupid. I mean, I wouldn't leave your wallet on top of your car and come in and have dinner, but I wouldn't do that in Fig Garden Village,
or anywhere
River
for
Park,
that matter,
or downtown Visalia for that matter, right? So, I think people should be smart. If a young lady is walking out at 12:30 in the morning or something back to her car, I say, offer to walk her out. It could be a guy for all that matter, I mean, you just want to be smart. But we don't have, we haven't had problems with that. So I walk around all the time. I mean, I don't know if I have that much sense, but But, you know,
So
I
what's
mean, if anything, it's lonely. I just wish there were more places open and more things to do.
We're running out of time this week on the program, but what is next for Peeves, the public house? I mean, I was in there the other day and I was writing, and I got my coffee, and I hung out there, and you know what? It was a great experience. I saw people coming and going, and to me, I was comfortable. I didn't feel rushed, and it was like a place that I went, and even though my coffee was finished, I didn't get someone coming and quickly removing the cup. I mean, I stayed there for a while. So is that the kind of thing you want to see? Do you want to see more people there? Maybe we're not spending as much money as we should, but we're there. I mean, is that a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, I want it to be a casual, comfortable experience. So if you're busy, you come out there and hang out and your stress level goes down. People always go, can I move this chair or this table? I go, it's your living room. Just hang out, just have fun. I mean, you're not going to break anything. Just make it your own, If it looks like, there are 14 beers up there and you don't know what the heck they are, just say, give me 3 tastes. If you don't like those 3, say, give me 3 more tastes, Same with the wine or whatever. I mean, we want you to have a really good experience. That's the whole point.
And on that note, we are out of time again on the program this week. Thank you so much, Craig Scharton, for coming back and bringing your friend Peeve, although he stayed
added
laying
a
down.
lot, didn't he?
He did move occasionally. So that's all for this edition of San Joaquin Spotlight. Thank you to the volunteer crew in the studio now and behind the scenes and the computers producing this program. We couldn't do it without you, obviously. We couldn't do it without guests like Craig Scharton and Mr. Peeve, who's laying down right by my feet. We also couldn't do it without the audience members listening and watching the broadcast. KFSR 90.7 FM, CMAC, AT&T 99, Comcast 93. Thank you so much for the support. I'm your host, Sevag Tateosian. Tune in next week for a new edition of San Joaquin Spotlight. This is Broadcast 104 on television.